So this one's coming up next. And look at that, a small block for a change. And I think a turbo 350. I'm gonna switch it up a bit. All right, well, it's on the hoist. So this one pretty much similar happening at the GMC. So pulling all this out, I'm going to be we'll be putting a small block in. So this motor, 350 auto trans, front clips coming off, S10's going on. And then we're going to be reusing the stock steering column, trying to adapt the shifter again. Yeah, pretty much right now I'm going to drain fluids. I'm going to lift it up, drain fluids, see what's going on underneath. Well, interesting. So we got a 3-speed standard. We're going to reuse the master. I'm just going to put a residual up to the front. We're going to, yeah, nice and clean truck. So start tearing her down. All right, new game plan. Seeing how that clip is not going to work at all for this truck, but everything works. So telling them just to try it, because I don't see what the problem is. These trucks drive great, front end's all tight. We're just going to smash the V8 in here, and he's just going to try it with the stock front end. I think it'll be nice. I think it'll be fine. So that's on the slate. We're just going to pull out and just do a motor swap, which is fine. That is much easier to do. Should be able to knock it out of the park in a hurry. Okay, so we got everything loose out of here. I doubt the motor's going to come out without taking the hood off, so I'm just going to scrub the hood mount so I can get the hood back on the same place, and then yeah, just chain this sucker up, pop it out, and then we'll pop this one in place to get started figuring out my motor mounts and stuff. So the motor is out. It's just not too bad in here. I just got to pull these. If I can get you there. Okay. I gotta pull the old 6-cylinder mounts. So I'll pop those off. And then this tranny cross member for the original tranny is like wrong. Some of the e-brake stuff's like integrated through it. I guess I could blow it away with all the rivets, but I don't know. It's not in the way. I'm just gonna plasma it off. I'll zap both sides. I'm gonna build a new cross member back here for the transmission. I'm not too worried about blowing this cross member out because there's like one in the back and there's another one hanging in the front here, so I'll just blow this away, clean it up. Good enough. Out of the way. Out of sight, out of mind. Okie dokie. So that's cleaned out. So I'm gonna slide the motor in. I know traditionally you normally have this weird shoe mount, like a, I don't know, what do you call it? I don't know, it's like a horseshoe mount or something, goes under the motor around with the pedestals off. I'm just gonna build some standoffs on each side for the motor. If I feel it's not great, I'll make something underneath, but because this cross member is so meaty, I don't see it being a problem. But anyways, I'm just gonna get the motor in, sitting where she should be, and then I'll figure out how to buzz on some side saddles there for the motor. Okay, so motor's all centered. I'm just going to measure the yoke on the back there, make sure that's square, but the front of the motor's square. I can see why they do the horseshoe mount. It's pretty far away. I'm still going to plate across to it, but I'm going to build a shoe underneath it, because it is kind of a far span off the frame there. When you see that. No, just suck if you ever had to service the oil pan. I'm going to ponder this for a few seconds here, and then I'm going to just plate something to it. Plate something to it, and then I don't know if I'll make a removable section underneath. Because I don't know. If a guy's ever got to do the oil pan, boy, that would suck, having to pull the motor just to drop the pan. So, I don't know if you can see in there. Down there. Hold on, let me fix the lighting up for you here. It's quite the span between here and there. Don't know how many inches. It's quite a few. Here's my hand, for example. It's quite a ways. Well, it's getting late, so I think that's where I'm going to leave this right now. Mostly because I can't find my steering columns. Normally with these style of motor mounts, I don't know if you can see it better on this side. Yeah, they're the 60s style mounts. The steering column, an old steering column, hollow steering column is actually the right size to run the bolt through. But when I go dig one up tomorrow, I'll show you better how that goes. But anyways, that bottom plate's just tacked in. Top one is like buzzed in solid. I'm gonna make a standoff and put a mount up there to hold the motor, for the motor mount to run the bolt through. And then I'm going to throw some gussets into these plates yet. I may just make a bolt-in cross member that just goes underneath, just to hold those plates for some extra support. And then at least you can drop the oil pan if you need to. Then I'll build a tranny cross member, and yeah. Then we'll get pretty close. I guess I'll grab some manifolds. I don't know what this guy wants to run. I thought he was going to run headers, but I don't know. I'll see. If he wants to run manifolds, I think I have some in the shed. Easiest to clear all the steering and junk. Anyhow, more to come. Okay, so I pulled one of the columns out of the shed. Reason why I like these old steering columns. Whatever. Cut it off. Because this is the same size as the bolt on the motor mount on these things. So when you have these 60s car mounts, the bolt hole on the sides, on the side, is the same as this shaft. So usually when I'm retrofitting a truck, I'll just keep the columns if they're hollow, because then I just bob them off. Makes my pin for the mount. I don't have to do any work because the hole's the right size there. So here's the piece cut out. It fits the motor bolt nice. So pretty much going to mash that in there. Kind of like this side. I don't know if you can really see. But I mashed it over into that side, so I'm going to weld that sucker on. Got to do the same to this one. And then I'll weld this up a little better yet, but I'll probably make a transmission mount. And yeah, I'll move on from there. Here is my tranny cross member. Pretty simple. I usually go with 2 bolts, but I actually put a really big bolt through this one here. It's whatever, a 5/8 bolt, so it should be fine. And a simple trans cross member there, or like a mount. So that bolts in, nothing's affected with the e-brakes. Splashed a little paint on that old cross member. I have, these are the motor mounts here. So I just went off the top down. I triangulated it. I actually put a gusset inside. So I don't know. I think that's going to be pretty strong. It's pretty close to the front. I don't think there's going to be any problem with it, so I don't think I'll bother making a connector underneath. Yeah, just got to splash a little paint on those and call that portion done. So back here, still going to have to, I'm missing the fittings, still have to find some fittings to do the tranny cooler lines. Then there's their, whatever that module. And then I'll have to cut a drive shaft down because the one for this truck is too long and it has the wrong yoke on it. I have to figure out some exhaust here yet. But yeah, just gonna finish welding these up a little bit and then splash a little paint on those. Well, I'm gonna call it an early night. I just put a first coat of paint on there. I'll touch that up tomorrow. I'm gonna find some exhaust manifolds that'll fit on here. Yeah. Tranny cross member, motor mounts are done, so work on the exhaust, do the drive shaft tomorrow. I'll fit the rad, plumb the fuel system, like all kinds of little doodads. Lots of little junk to do, but yeah, get her done slowly.